Oh, it started without our intro. We don't need an intro. All right, bro, check this out. Yeah, well, what's going on?
Hey.
We're Writer's Block. I'm Sam.
I'm Mark.
This is Mark. We are two writers, and Mark comes from the film world. I come from the physical therapy world, but that doesn't apply whatsoever. So I come from the author, writing novels all the time world. So, and this is our special guest, y'all. We've done a collab before. It's amazing. We're getting to do another one because they're the best. And guys, would you mind introducing yourselves?
This is Austin here, and this is Richard over here.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Well, we are from Two to Ramble, and we're stoked because before you guys click the record button for everybody watching, they said they have 3 huge surprises for us.
We do.
Huge is
And
huge is
3
kind of
gifts. I heard you guys are going to
Huge.
be sending us stuff as well. Thank you.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, we actually did that
Huge.
last time.
Yeah.
We'll do that again. That's great.
Locking us in. This is really
Gifts
good
are their
negotiation.
gifts
This
are their
is so
love
good.
language. So sending them T-shirts. I'm sure you guys get T-shirts all the time, though. Like it's got to happen, right?
But yours were
Less-
special, though.
Less often than you would think. It's
Really?
more books than t-shirts.
It's way more books than T-shirts. I would say the ratio is 90% books, 10% T-shirts.
I have not gone to our P.O. box in a minute.
They're just T-shirt stuff.
There's so many T-shirts. It's all from you guys too. It's just a stack of.
We're just like, you should check it out. You should check it out.
Yeah,
You
I have
guys are
like
just
my
obsessed with
love
sending it.
language is actually T-shirts. So so I'm a pastor. I work at a church, and whenever they're like, let's think about something creative that we can do for this outreach event or whatever, I'm like T-shirts, and they're like, dude, shut up, like stop, like we're so done with your ideas. They're also expensive, but I love T-shirts. It's the best thing in the world.
At least switch it up. Maybe long sleeves every now and then.
Oh yeah, like
it
it's
fresh.
hoodie
Oh.
season's coming
Yes.
eventually, right?
I mean, couple
Good
months,
hoodie.
but yeah.
I love
Sleeveless
it.
hoodies.
Sleeveless.
Oh,
man,
that's a
look,
look.
that's next summertime, man.
bold.
I'm trying to get into that big muscle arm shirt.
A wife beater hoodie.
Yeah.
Listen, that's amazing.
That's
Somebody-
that's the next
Rich,
thing going
Somebody
on.
make that.
Somebody needs a character who's just like, what is this thing they're walking around in, and they just refuse to take it off.
I'm getting inspired. I need to write a character who wears a sleeveless hoodie.
I mean, that's almost the definition of a person by itself.
It kind of is.
A
It kind of
sleeveless hoodie. If you're
I feel
not,
like you know everything about them.
you know,
you do. You know
so
way
much.
too much.
Especially if they're not going to the gym, like a sleeveless hoodie, and you're like, we're just going to this is a restaurant, my guy. This is not Denny's. You should not be here.
Rich, I heard you were like jogging or something. Like in one of the episodes you were talking about. Are you like trying to? What are you trying to do,
Jogging?
man? Like, are you going to get jacked? Like, what's going on here? What's the
that's why
workout
I-
program like?
I pick up heavy weights and put them down. I'm not a cardio guy. I should
You
be
know,
a cardio guy,
That
but
that's awesome.
Yeah, cardio makes me sad, but picking heavy
Yeah.
things up does make me slightly more happy.
Yeah. Are you doing like a powerlifting thing or something?
No, just generally training. I do have a trainer that's into powerlifting, and so I have a feeling he's
Yeah.
trying to get me to do that. But
Yeah.
one of these days. Right now, my current motivation is beating my friend in a bench competition.
Ooh,
I like that.
I like that.
Mhm.
High testosterone activities. It's
Oh,
really
yeah.
good. Really good.
I would not challenge. I go to the gym almost like 3-4 times a week, and I would not challenge my friend in a lifting competition.
I love lifting. I love squats.
We're sitting in here, and there's a gym right
There's
there.
actually a gym right there.
right there.
From COVID.
Oh, man.
From
Yeah.
COVID, we got like a half rack and stuff. So, Austin, how about you, man? You do any powerlifting, any kind of lifting? Toss
Oh,
around the
gym,
weights
yeah.
every now and then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gym
He
and
can. He weighs significantly less than me and can bench significantly more than me.
Oh,
And
I
it's just-
I hate guys like that.
And
They
me
have
too.
bench press talent.
It's all muscle in there. Just
Screw
real
those
dense.
guys.
Also, it's just time because Rich has just been getting. I mean, a year-ish. A year. You've been taking it more seriously for about a year.
Yeah.
So it's just a time.
That's awesome,
Which
dude.
That's
Rich, by the time he challenges our friend in the competition, our friend is not training at all. So the stakes are extremely high for Rich because if he loses, he failed. If he wins, he got out by the skin of his teeth.
I tell you what, genetics
I
are a
have to
son
have
of a gun, though, bro.
decisive victory, or
Yeah.
it's complete shame.
Tell me this guy isn't like 6'6", 250 pounds.
Our good friend
Worse.
Dwayne Johnson over here.
Yeah.
I got him.
It's
He's the
worse.
same height as me, same weight as me.
Okay.
There's no excuse.
There's zero
Dang
excuse.
it, man.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
He's
Dude,
got
you
an
got,
inch
you got
on
this
you.
clown.
That's
You
pretty
got
much
it.
it. Yeah.
We're cheering for you, bro. We need to know how this turns out. Sorry, this is such a bro-ish conversation, but so far, but like
This is about writing and stuff, everybody.
This is about writing.
We're gonna do it.
Promise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I promise.
we'll put timestamps and we can always just cut the intro where I'm just being a total idiot. But
no cutting here.
we don't do it. Yeah, we'll do two versions. One that's good and then one where we're just okay, so what we're actually talking about, we're kind of excited. I sent Austin. I was thinking about all this like philosophical stuff. So
Yeah.
you could do this or how philosophy of story and blah blah blah. And like I was like, or dragons. And he was like, yeah, definitely dragons. That other stuff sounds really boring.
He said, absolutely not.
That was amazing. So we're talking about dragons today, people.
They're
And
the dragons.
I've got a
Which,
quick
by the way, the
confession.
second part is I hope we do bring up the philosophy stuff because I do kid. I would love to talk about that too.
Hey man, yeah, we're down for whatever. We can go with the flow.
Yeah.
But
Dragon time. Tell us, what are we getting ourselves into?
Okay, here's what you're getting yourself into. First, a confession. I am a fantasy writer, and I've never written about dragons. And I had a policy that was no dragon policy, and my policy was like everyone does dragons. Like whenever you see fantasy, it's dragons are synonymous with fantasy, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, and I'm gonna carve a new path. I'm gonna be a one of these creatives, and people are just gonna be like, oh, that guy, he just never did dragons. It's so cool of him. Because I wanted to be original, but then I thought about it and I was like, this is like one of the biggest things in the world. So like I should probably at least know why I'm making this decision instead of just being a creative or whatever. So I know nothing about the dragons beyond Smaug. I know Smaug pretty good. I've stayed away from him. And Mark, how about you?
Before we had a conversation, before I thought I knew a lot about dragons. Now I feel like I'm slightly above average. My mom was a big reader back in the day, so Anne McCaffrey and Pern and all that good stuff. That used to be my bedtime stories back in the day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, shout out mom, shout out Mamie Barnes, holla. And and then from there, I'm a good story guy, so I like Lord of the Rings, and I like Eastern dragons a lot too, and they're very different from medieval Western dragons. But then I gotta say, I kind of like scratch the surface just a little bit, So anything anybody else says, I'm gonna be like, "That's pretty dope. I did not know that."
Yeah, so we were like, we need to learn more about this. We talked with my sister, who's essentially a literary scholar. She's like really into. She studied 18th century British lit at Emory University, and she's like one of these crazy people who like actually reads the books and like goes to class and stuff. So she actually knows stuff. It's
Actually
been
reading the book.
It's insane.
Right?
So she read Twilight in order to do a vampire episode with us. And she was just like texting me while she's reading. She's like, I'm dying. Because she's very serious as a person.
She's not a romance book person.
She's
at
not
all.
into romance. She's like reading these literary. She's like, yeah, I read Frankenstein last night just because. I'm like, oh my gosh. So
She comes in, no joke, every time we talk to her. She's like,
Pages.
so guys, I was literally the first one she had like 15 pages of notes and stuff. The second one we told her 3 days before, being like, we should talk to you. She came in with 3 pages in 3 days. I was like, oh man.
She read Beowulf. She read Beowulf to prepare for our Dragon
She
Talk.
read Fourth Wing.
And she
My
read
goodness.
Fourth Wing.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
We
I'll
were
have you
like-
know, we did no.
One of those is significantly harder to read.
Which
Fourth
one?
It's fourth.
It is fourth. Yeah. Wow. We
I've heard
we
you guys
did
talk
not
about that.
prepare in any such way for this. I
okay.
mean, we've read some of those books, but we didn't do it right before the episode.
We're just trying to catch up. You've got the what is it when the person has like all this like they've got all the backup, they've got like all the like the street credit because you look behind them and they've got like a million books behind them.
marketing,
which they
marketing is
literally
the
have
word you're looking
marketing.
for.
Oh, marketing.
Yep.
Aesthetics.
Aesthetics.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got the track record, the marketing, the history, and we did the same preparation you guys did, and we've got 7 books behind us. So-
Yeah. Woo, the
Yeah.
expanse.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. But
The
so,
books behind this really is the clipboard effect of you see those videos where somebody walks in with a ladder or a clipboard and then they're allowed into any venue because they must know what they're doing because of the thing behind them or the thing they're wearing.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
it.
I'm
I
trying to
love
do it right though, and like do it like one book at a time, and it's really lame. Right? It's really weak right now. It's just like, dude, that guy's weak sauce, And it's sitting here. It's just like, man, I can bench 2, Rich. And Rich is just like, just got plates on plates. He's like, throw on some more plates. I don't care I don't care what they are. Just put them on there, you know.
I bet you could outbench me. I just hit my 1 rep max of 200. That's
solid though, man.
That's awesome.
You're starting to get into the percent. Once you hit the big round numbers, you feel really cool. But man, let me tell you, it's coming soon. That 225 with the two big plates.
The 2 plates. I'm looking forward to that day.
That's
an important day.
Yes,
it's gonna be a good day.
That's next Thursday. Don't let me be your trainer.
Go try harder.
Have you ever thought about just
get
thinking
angry?
you can do it?
You guys need to make an edit of this video where we don't talk about dragons at all. Just skip to these parts until the very end.
They'll be like, so that was a conversation about working out, everybody.
It's off-brand. The algorithm gets confused and then just like kills all of our videos for eternity because it's confused. But
thanks for your gym channel.
So we've got like this interesting background that we've just kind of like that's fresh in our brains as far as like the evolution of dragons from myth to like biblical like images to like Beowulf to all the way up to basically now. So we have some kind of an understanding of how this image and how this metaphor and how this thing has changed and been used in different ways. Cool stuff, interesting stuff, but I think the bulk of our time we'd love to spend some time just like seeing the some examples of dragons that you guys like the most, tropes that you hate, and we'll just kind of pick your brain a little bit. So no preparation needed. You've done the preparation. It's behind you. You've done it.
It's your history. We'll call it Preparation H.
And so we'll get to, and then we'll read this stuff. Like we're gonna go back and read like a bunch of the stuff. If there's 1 or 2 that you're like you need to read it, and then we've got a couple little surprises. So.
Nice. Okay.
So yeah, you want us to catch you up a little bit on some of the stuff that we've heard and correct us if we're wrong. It's Lauren. So
I'm just curious on how Puff the Magic Dragon fits into the timeline of dragon history.
I'm a big fan. I brought him up in our last talk. I was a big.
I think you did actually.
I did. Puff's my homie.
That's a core childhood.
It is
memory for me. Is Puff the Magic Dragon.
Only you, me, and a lot of us remember. Puff has no concept of what happened back then. Puff was like, "Oh, bro, did I see you, Puff? Yeah, you took me home like every Sunday. It was a wild time back in the late '80s." Okay, Puff, thanks. Buddy.
Dragons in the '80s. That's like another stage in the evolution of the.
Oh man, yeah. Do you guys want to jump in, or should we start off with what were you thinking?
With one of the surprises?
You want to? You want to give one of them? Just to
all right.
Yes.
So we've got 3 different surprises. I guess we'll start with one of them here.
Yes.
Mark, you want to do the honors? Just say kind of what I can pull it up here if you want to say kind of what we're doing here.
Yeah. Okay. So last time we did Plot Wars, right?
Yes.
And you guys it was very fun, and you guys had like great takes on it, and we thought that we should always let you guys have fun like that, but we thought, dang, our reading sucked when we were doing it in the moment. So we came up with a solution, and this is the solution. One of them you really liked because it was so silly. You didn't say we should write it, but you liked it, and so we decided to do a part 2 of it for you.
And we made a trailer.
We made a trailer.
Ooh,
we thought it would be more fun.
So, this is bad. We're not good at video editing, but we're just interested to see your take on one of our ideas.
This is a fever dream at 2 a.m.
Okay, so here's the thing. I kind of want to write this book for real. Like I kind of, and I almost want to write this as start with the second book.
Star Wars.
No, call it 2, but don't write the first one. Just call it.
Allude to it. Actually, that fits the style very well.
All right.
Okay.
So y'all ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here we go.
First, aliens invaded. They got buckshot.
Now, the dead are walking.
They'll get buckshot too.
Get your rotten foot off my Kentucky bluegrass.
Immune to the virus, 2 ultra cranky neighbors are back.
To defend their turf.
There's just one problem. One of them is a half zombie.
I'm fine, Earl. And you're still not touching my deck height.
Because the stakes have never been higher. Whoever dies first suffers a fate worse than death. Being undead and having their lawn mowed on a different setting.
Get off my lawn too. More brains. More blades. Buy Writer's Block, available one day. Maybe.
All right. Thoughts?
What a gem. What a gem. Oh, it makes you.
That sits right in line with a whole host of great B movies. It falls right in line with a bunch.
By the way, that is hilarious. That imagine having some book or movie show up that is labeled number 2, but there is no first.
Yeah.
It's just it makes it so much better.
Doesn't Hitchhikers
wanna do it.
kind of do that?
Does it? Hitchhiker's Guide to the
I
Galaxy.
read the first one. I just read the first one actually, and I feel like it didn't have a plot at all. It was just like all over the place. I had no idea what was going on.
Well, Hitchhikers has I thought it was something like book 4 of the trilogy. Like it has like 6 books.
That'd be funny. Yeah.
And yet it still calls it like it's
A
the
it's still the
Hitchhiker's trilogy.
Yeah.
Something
That's
weird
actually
like
hilarious.
that.
Yeah, we kind of actually want to write this. I think we might mess around and do it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's-
Dungeon Crawler Carl just happened, dude. No one's taking things too seriously. If you're moving
I feel
fast
like
enough,
you can get in there. Yeah.
Honestly, this is the time. Some
This is it.
kind of
Might
more
be the time.
absurdist fantasy, sci-fi.
Yeah.
Like
It's our moment. Plus, there's a lot of great old actors. We need to get it done so that they have a
chance.
platform to come out here and act in.
Yeah.
you don't want to wait till Tom Holland gets old enough to play the role.
Oh yeah.
man.
No.
Tom's back.
Well, he can't play kids anymore. Did you hear that interview? He did an interview and he's like mourning the fact that he can't be like the kid anymore. He's got to like do adult roles now. He's like, this is crazy.
What's he like? 30? Yeah, it's about that time.
Yeah. He still looks pretty young.
Yeah,
So
he
I was like,
does.
you could probably do a couple more. But
We wouldn't believe it anymore now. That's the thing.
yeah, this one would be. It could be kind of fun.
It's gonna be silly. They're all silly, but as long as it's a page turner. Who
long as
doesn't like
it's a
old
page
men
turner.
fighting zombies?
Yep.
I don't know.
The thing that I remember stuck in my head is very much like Plants versus Zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm imagining it's like two old men on their lawns, and basically like honestly you could probably tweak the whole plot and pitch it to the people who own Plants versus Zombies.
Oh,
Actually,
an adaptation.
An adaptation of Plants versus Zombies.
Okay.
That could be good.
I bet.
I like that. Yeah, I think it's pretty
Video
easy.
game adaptations are happening everywhere nowadays.
They are.
true.
Yeah.
So
true.
Minecraft
this
made
is the next
hundreds
thing.
of millions. Yeah.
We had to. And my kids freaking love that. We had to do a zombie one because one of the guys dies in the first one that doesn't exist. And so
In
if
our
he
headcanon
dies,
of the story.
yeah, when the virus comes and gets him, it like just resurrects him and then he's back.
Yeah, we were talking about it. We were like, what did we think happened in this book that we never wrote? And we're like, well, we gotta follow that because that's what happened.
It's canon. Oh my god!
He's already 1 foot in the grave. He used only half of him was zombified.
Yes, exactly. Because we just both. Even the trailer says they're both immune, and then you're just like, but one of them is a half zombie.
You're like,
It's what?
This is hot garbage. What's going on?
Oh man, we'd probably write the crap out of that though. It would
Yeah,
actually
that'd
be
be a great
fun.
time.
Like, make it literary,
Maybe I know you guys are pulling. Surprise 2 is you've already written it. I already know it's coming out.
I
Jokes
wish.
on everybody.
With the
We
Tom
finished
Cruise one
it.
is done. Actually, it's done. We're in the editing phase, so
Yeah.
we're kind of polishing it up a little bit.
Oh
so.
hell yeah! There you go.
Yeah, but it's done. So we're excited about that. So you guys want to talk dragons a little bit? Do you already feel caught up? Like what is your what is your knowledge of like just the use of dragons as throughout literature, like from the beginning of time and the history of dragons and all that stuff? We can hit on that quickly.
We had a crash course.
Unless we're it's fresh.
We're so smart.
Unless you guys already know all that stuff.
I'll be honest. I feel very unprepared for dragons. It's one of the genres of fantasy I probably know the least about. Like I have, I know our friend would say we're woefully underread because we haven't even read Aragon yet.
Oh
So-
yeah, that one was around a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, if you've read things about dragons, but yeah, I honestly don't. I don't think I know a lot about like the origin of it.
So, you want to jump in at any time? It's where Lauren took it more in a Western direction, so I think it
She
does
did.
diverge at a certain point. But
Yeah. I mean, I think what Lauren said was it started off way back in time as kind of just literally being probably based on a lot of things that we just normally would see, but would be just too massive for us, or just elemental things destroying things, and you can't even come outside when there's a crazy lightning storm happening, and then there's fire everywhere. So you attribute it to the growl in the sky, and then eventually, you see bones of things washing up on shore, and you're just like, what is this thing? That mouth and that head is so big. That's clearly a monster that we can't handle, and we called it a blue whale, and then or something similar.
It's probably whale bones.
And then in the East they start revering them more mythologically, and saying that they are seats of power and magical creatures, and we in the Western kind of sees them as magical creatures that are more grounded, so to speak. So mythical creatures rather than magical creatures, maybe to say legendary creatures rather than magical. So they could live in a cave somewhere, while the Eastern folks would say they could live right next to you and you wouldn't see them. Kind of like through the magical veil kind of vibe.
Yeah, that's a really good summary. I mean, and so she starts with that, with myth, and which is actually interesting because we're trying to mine it for narrative possibilities. So like, I'm like, you've never seen National Geographic, you don't know what a whale, like a blue whale looks like, and then you see bones wash up. What do you think that is? What do you attribute that to? And so she had a really cool term that was like probably our biggest takeaway, which was the chaos monster. So early on, it's all just coming down in oral tradition, and it's the concept of a chaos monster, like where it's a city, like maybe world wrecking in their minds, but it's a city, it's something with city wrecking capability. And I picture like a hurricane, right? A hurricane like ripping through and destroying everything. They're like, dude, that was a zombie. Or, sorry, dude.
And then the other person's like,
Get out of here, Billy!
One zombie.
They're like, that was a dragon. That was a chaos monster.
You just can't get that story out of your head.
God, it's stuck.
It's just there.
I'm just so inspired.
But it was a zombie.
I'm so inspired. Yeah. So that's where it starts, and that's interesting as far as like the narrative possibilities there. And then you get some imagery. You get more stuff that's written down. You start to get imagery in in the Bible, and there's a lot of really fun, cool, like niche discussions of like dragons in the Bible. Most of them are stand-ins for not necessarily like city wrecking forces, but for like it'll be a stand-in for Egypt, right? When Egypt was at the height of its power, and they'll call it like Leviathan. Or it'll be a stand-in for, or there'll be like prophetic literature, and it represents a specific kingdom. So like one of the most famous ones, my favorite one actually, it represents the kingdom of Rome. And Daniel is like having these visions about these kingdoms that are going to come. He sees Alexander the Great, he sees the Persians, and then he sees Rome. And Alexander the Great is like a leopard with 4 heads because he took over the world very quickly. And the leopard has 4 heads because when he died at like 30, which is crazy, what a crazy like story that is. His kingdom got split into 4 by a bunch of 4 different generals.
Yeah, I heard he didn't even want to be buried.
Huh? Oh, really? Oh, Alexander? Yeah.
Not Hamilton.
The Great.
The Great.
I don't know his last name. That's really
Great.
presumptuous to be like, I don't have a last name, just Mark the Great.
Dude was a legend. I mean, he's 17 and his dad put him in charge of a battle. Yeah. And he was like, and this was his instructions going into the battle. I'm going to do some stuff. It's basically us getting ready for filming. We're going to do some stuff. And then at a certain moment, you're going to know what to do. And that was his instructions. And then the lines broke and he ran through and flanked and like killed the other army. Wow. Because he at 17 knew what that meant and did it. So just
and he was taught by Aristotle, so he had a little bit of that edge.
Some smart guys teach him some stuff.
Yeah. And plus, he was smart too. I mean, during Alexander's Great time, he hired historians and others to follow him around battle to battle to write about it. So that's how we have contemporary
Such good
sources.
Documentation.
Good documentation.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't. Those aren't surviving, but people that were talking about those documents that are now gone have survived. So.
That's super interesting. Did he do that? I wonder if he did that because his foresight in saying people should know about these things because it's important for them to understand what happened, or was he like, listen, I'm super dope and I don't mind hiring paparazzi to follow me around?
It was the second. It was actually the second. It was absolutely
has to be the second.
He's like,
he also probably understood the importance of basically his name. If he's going to create an empire, he needs to have. Like it's before you walk into another's town, they already know of Alexander the Great.
Absolutely.
And potentially, I mean, Genghis Khan also did something similar of making sure that his name is spread far and wide to the point that most of the time when he'd come up to some fort, they would open the gates for him anyway because of his reputation.
His fear spread faster than his army could move.
Oh,
I mean, that's probably why he did part of why he did all the stuff is to make sure that, one, people couldn't raise up against him, one, because he took out all the guys and then basically concubined everybody else. And then two, when you go like, if we let you in here, you're just going to make us take care of all your horses and do whatever you say. And he's like, yeah, I'll kill some of you, but not all of you. And you're like, so open the gates.
Yep.
Open the gates.
Okay. Sounds good.
He also integrated all of their strategists, their engineers. So the reason why Genghis Khan's army got stronger is because basically he learned a lot of like siege weaponry and different engineers from these towns. He integrated them into his army and became more and more technologically capable.
Doesn't he just sound like a fictional character that went back in time and just went like, I remember one skill, but I know I'm gonna take all the smarts from everybody I take over. And you're like, that's a whole book.
Yeah.
You're just like,
that would be a cool book, actually.
I want to know the first person that called Alexander the Great. Well, was that one of his paparazzi that said the Great, or was it the people that are just going, "Hey, this guy's undefeated"?
I think it was everyone.
Literally, he's the GOAT general. He's not lost a battle. He's the Michael Jordan of killing people.
He's the Michael Jordan of killing people.
He was.
He's that good.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be either him or somebody that like really wanted to be on his team. Like, I think it's either like, in my mind, he either goes like, "Listen, I'm Alexander the Great," and they're like, "Who calls you that?" And he says, "Who doesn't?" And they're like, "That's a good point, sir. That's a mighty fine point you made there." Once more with the great words, you hit it.
Dude, I mean, honestly, he had accomplished greatness in 2 battles.
True.
Like he had 2 epic moments, and they're like, "Man, Alexander the Great," and then it turns out he's insane. And he's like, "No, I'm going to conquer the whole world, and I'm never going to stop." And they're like, "Ha, ha, ha, ha."
Don't you
And
mean
he's like, "I'm never gonna stop." And his men mutinied because it'd been 10 years
of eating barley, just bread.
Eating on the land. And they're like, "Dude, we've conquered can we please?" They're in India. They're in India.
And then he gave that rousing speech, right, where he's like, "Listen, peasants, you followed me this far. You're gonna follow me." Actually, probably better. It wasn't with that much vitriol, but I heard it was very passionate. And
he was like,
"For
glory!"
It says. I mean, the history says they all apologized, felt so bad because Alexander the Great was. They felt bad for wanting to mutiny. He's had that much presence.
Yep,
we're calling them peasants rather than like soldiers.
Oh no, I just made up peasants.
No,
wasn't there?
I think he wept.
Isn't there
like wept
or did he call them citizens?
It was something.
Yes.
Citizens would be a strong word though back in the day.
Yeah.
I do like peasants though. I like the vitriol you had. I like to imagine him just
peasants.
Being like,
I like my revisionist thing of like him like going off at him. And then,
yeah. Well, he actually wept when he did it, and
he was
like, "Guys, we're bros, and we're gonna live forever if we can do this." And they were all like, "Yeah, man, we're bros."
I feel like,
and then one of them poisoned him.
And then one of them poisoned him. They're like, "Dude, we gotta go."
One was definitely not.
There's always a Judas.
There's
always a Judas.
I feel like that one person walked away from that bros conversation being like, "Nobody knows me. My name's Alexander. They just call me the lesser." Not on my watch, Alex. Why can't they just call me Alex?
Yeah, man. Honestly, I could nerd out about this stuff forever. It's so like interesting to me. So after him, Persians, I think, and basically the image that is seen, biblically speaking, and I'm going to the Roman Empire. The image that is seen is like a perfect metaphor for the kingdom that came. It's like like a bear or something, and it perfectly correlates with like the Persian Empire or something like that. Maybe that one came before and Alexander came after and wrecked them. I think that's how it happened. But then Rome comes up and no one's ever seen anything like it. And Rome just grind everyone into the ground. They win the battle on the logistical front in every way, shape, or form. And then they are just like, everything is efficiency. It's like, hey, that weapon's better, but we're not going to use it because it's harder to make and maintain. So we're going to use this shorter one. We're going to do this. And they all just lock in and they don't get tired and they just grind everything to bits. And the only creature that could work is essentially a dragon. It's like a huge like beast that no one even knows what it is. And so like this is like probably one of the bigger images in like the Bible. And now we've gone from like cosmic, like chaos monster to this is Rome. This is an empire, and this is the perfect metaphor for it. And it just grinds everything over. It's got horns all over it, and it just turns it into nothing. Just stomps
Once it's
it down.
coming, you can't stop it.
Yeah, you just can't stop it. By the way, have you guys read Art of War?
Sun Tzu, shout out.
So good, so fun, and it's so short. I thought it was going to be a beast, and I bought it, and then I was like, oh yay, I can read Art of War and say I read it, and it's so easy. Yeah.
I do love one that you can actually buy different versions of it depending on, like, if you're in the business world. There's one specifically translated for businessmen. There's one for, just general translation. I think there's an artistic one. Then there's also one that is read by like military members, and it's recommended in military college. But no, what I love about it is how basic it is. Like, you have to think of like who was Sun Tzu writing for? What was the intention? And he was writing basically a pamphlet, a how-to guide for dumb young nobles who have by birth of blood were given an army and they know nothing. And like their instinct is charge everything, just hit them harder.
Yeah.
It's such as like, okay, guys,
you need logistics.
Yeah,
food is important.
Yeah.
that is
war for dummies.
It is. It's how to war for dummies.
It's just an Instagram quote after Instagram quote.
It is like, really good quotes too.
Yeah.
He's like, one of the lines there is something like, supply lines are incredibly important. Defend your supply lines.
Yep.
They're so important. It's even better than defending your supply lines, taking the enemy's supply lines.
Eating their stuff. Just eating all their stuff.
Protect your food and take the enemy's food.
It's a nice...
But, yeah.
It's
the
so
more
interesting.
the one more insightful thing, I think, is one layer deeper than like, hey, have a bigger numbers. Like, that's in there of like, fight when you have more people. But the other one that's interesting is always leave an out for your enemy.
Yeah.
Never back an opposing army with no exit.
They'll chew right through you. Oh, they'll try.
Like, give them no option to escape. Like, battles are not decided when you wipe out everyone. It's when you wipe out enough that
where
they
they flee.
scatter.
Yep.
So
now they're going to fight to the man.
Now they're going to fight to the man. So always give them an exit so they can run and break.
I love that.
That I found it very interesting.
I let that book influence everything that I write as far as like a fantasy battle, because I just love the logistics, and I love that oh shoot moment when like your supply lines cut or some logistical thing went wrong and you see it bleeding you dry. And the reader's not thinking on those terms. They're thinking on terms of like charge, like the young noble. And so now it's like you see the impact of the logistical thing that's gone wrong, and it's like, oh no, oh crap, that guy is thirsty and he just fell down. Oh no, another guy is. This is bad.
It's.
Oh my God, we attacked Russian winter again. What do
I
we
was
do?
just thinking that too. Yeah, exactly. You're just like, Germany did not read that book before when they said, let's go get
it. Was
Russia.
Available. Oh, they burned it probably.
It was not available when they did it. Yeah, they said not for us.
Isn't that the lesson America basically learned from the Romans? Is like America's military is the logistical king of kings.
Yeah.
The fact that we had ice cream destroyers in World War II. We delivered ice cream to the front lines, which to me is like, that's just, you're styling on your
I was going to say it's a full flex, but it's also a demoralizing move. It's a little bit of it's the same concept. Like, as much as it's a waste, if you're an enemy soldier and you're sitting there and you got some strong binoculars and you're like, tomorrow's battle's going to be tough. We're eating this rice. And you just got like this rice and you're just like, that's it. And then you look over and you're like, what are they doing? Because they're going to die tomorrow. And you're like, they have a steak and a Slurpee. We're both going to shoot at each other. This is what I mean. And you just kind of feel a little demoralized.
You got to feel really demoralized.
You get real mad, but then you sleep on it feeling sad.
the more impressive thing I was hearing interesting stories about was the German airlift of when the Russians tried to basically take Berlin, because Berlin was separated from the Western influence, but we still owned half of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically Russia blocked off the trains to actually get into it. So it was cut off. They were basically starving the people to get the West to give up all of Berlin. And the United States and the rest of Europe actually they were able to logistical nightmare of they flew a plane in every 5 minutes, and they were cycling food for the entire city with airplanes, and they did that for it was a couple months. I think it was like 2-3 months every day. The
That's
logistics
crazy.
behind it was incredibly impressive and just so expensive.
Yeah.
But the Russians couldn't hold out long enough.
Yeah. There's a lot of
they still can do this.
there's a lot of
They can feed a city.
You're just sitting there looking at the planes flying in, and you're like, "We're eating this rice."
Yes. Well, the Russian Berlin, the Soviet Union side of Berlin was still starving, and they had full access to the entire Soviet Union.
And they couldn't get anything over there in time. And
there's a lot of heroic moments in history that just boil down to logistics, which I just think is so interesting and cool. You take that boring thing and you make it really important, and then think of the validity your story gets when you're letting those kind of details kind of drive the narrative. But so long story short, you got a few more biblical images of dragons, then you start to get to Beowulf, and so you're getting more stories written down, and you're starting to get the picture of the knight fighting the dragon. Most of the time, God could just kill the dragon pretty easily, but at least in the West. But God's usually I think I'm gonna get this guy, and I'm just gonna be like,
it's
here's
your
a
cause.
sword. And so you get the guy trying to stand in the gap and fight the monster. So now it's kind of taking on some different elements.
So he's a farm boy too, by the way.
I mean, hey, hero's journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you see the scope's shrinking, right? It's like a cosmic kind of world-ending type thing, city-ending type thing. It's a metaphor for whole armies and whole countries, and then now one dude can take it on.
Yeah, lives outside of a village, and he's going up the mountain to take him down.
Yep, and then he does it, or he doesn't, or he does it and then he dies. Like Beowulf does it and then dies. And so
whoa,
and then,
spoilers, man, for Beowulf.
Dang it!
Well, guys, spoilers for Beowulf.
Where's the button?
I'm sorry. I'm sure you're all going to read it tomorrow.
Good call.
My favorite poet of all time did I think what is the best translation of that. So Seamus Heaney actually did an incredible translation of Beowulf, and it's my sister's favorite. It's really good. So
shout out S. Heaney.
Yeah, man.
You're saying it's better than Tolkien's? Oh.
I would. I love Seamus so much that I would just say yes, because I love him so much.
I think we talked about. Didn't we talk about Seamus last time? It's ringing a bell for some reason. I think you.
Yeah,
that's
Seamus.
Yeah,
we got into. We did a little aside into poetry, and he's my favorite poet, a contemporary Irish poet. Incredible. So.
We're going to mention him every time.
Yeah, just every time. I love him
question
so
for you
much.
both: Why do you think that dragon started as this cosmic, chaotic force and became smaller and more individual over time?
I think that it's how people culturally see the world, just overall. At first, I think that you feel powerless to even nature, and now human beings feel empowered. So as Sam keeps going, you'll see the conversation changes. I don't want to jump on it because you were on a nice roll here.
Yeah.
But I think it jumps from back in the day, storms raging, buildings are burning down, things are exploding, and you don't know why, and you could never stop it. And then all of a sudden it turns to, you could stop it with great effort. With great effort, we can overcome this together. And then it's one man, changes. And then as Sam continues talking about this, I think it's going to change to, we are the monsters. We're scarier than them because we control them. That's our feelings. We ride the dragons,
It's kind of the human condition, right?
Yeah.
And you see us centralizing ourselves, and it's the beginning of Jurassic Park. It's the beginning of that like that world-ending apocalyptic movie, right? So we're like primed for it to where we get big for our britches, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we think we're God, and then when your pride gets high, that's like when it's perfect time for like a real dragon to show back up.
Story-wise, it'd be really great to Jurassic Park it and Jeff Goldblum it, where he, and just have them go like, "You want to take this up? You want to package it? You want to sell it? You want to?" And then boom, it turns around on you. And I think like we got to write dragon riders that are like eventually getting taken down. They're just by their own dragons. You're like, "Oh, but that's a dragon." They're like, "Yeah, but I raised him since he was a puppy." And I go, "I love dogs, and I've seen dogs bite their owners, and that's a dragon." One bite.
One very small popcorn bite.
One nibbly.
So yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little bit of the human condition. The more we start with awe, and the more we learn, the more we think that we can centralize ourselves and be in control. And so I think you almost can track it through history and see that happen. The more information, the more you learn, the more you centralize yourself.
You said the more you learn.
So
feels like the more you know. I want to throw some stars up over our heads. Just the more you know. Yeah.
So Godzilla is more of a return to form of dragon.
Correct. Well, when he's good.
Representing.
When he's good.
Yeah,
Did you see -1?
Good. I did. I love
I love that freaking movie. It is one of my favorite movies I've ever seen.
Movie.
I think
incredible.
I think it's the best Godzilla movie.
It is. It's better than the original. It's better than
really
people that will still say the original and that's better. It's because it's a classic and it's timely. But Godzilla -1's the greatest. It's the greatest.
It's really
so,
good.
I really think it is. Yeah. I love the protagonist. I love the message. I love the story. But the money is the return of Godzilla to what he was.
Return to form. Yeah.
And Godzilla, we talked about this a little bit with my sister. Godzilla is a dragon. It's in spirit, absolutely a dragon, because he started out representing, like, you've got the post-traumatic stress of an entire people because of the atomic bomb, right? And so Godzilla was a container for that. This thing that could show up and with atomic breath just annihilate a city. And like they were processing through national trauma with him, and then he becomes. I used to rent those movies from the library. Godzilla versus Mothra, and he's got the zipper in the back, and then you got them. He fights everything. I loved all those. They were stupider.
Fights robot Godzilla with a drop kick.
I love that. It's so. But obviously that's fun and kitschy. And then -1, it gets the power of the narrative back because it returns it back, and he is a mindless. He is a cosmic level force, and he's, you know how like in really good sci-fi a lot of times the big bad is space. Like space is trying to kill you. You know, it's just too big. It doesn't care. It's impersonal. Impersonal, and you do something wrong, you're dead.
And to the point, what he's supposed to be. For the lack of a better word, the Japanese people were humbled with the atomic bombs, and that's again for lack of a better word. But because of that cosmic force not being in the central, not being in control, especially when you and your nation failed and lost, and then there's this lack of pride, and now there's this guilt and despair and a disconnection from something you held so valuable. So now you get into this more cosmic chaos scene like you did with dragons. So
also
I love that point, by the way. I love that point, dude.
It goes back to like the Great Flood or like some great disaster that's unexplainable. But like most people were like, the sun was dropped twice.
Yeah.
And you've never seen, there's never been a thing like that before. So it takes you back to that like beginning of time feeling. Kind of thing. Like,
right.
It's hard to imagine people there. Like, that doesn't seem even like an act of war. It feels more like an act of God. Like that is
absolutely.
Yeah. Especially because they didn't have the communications that we have now, even to where somebody eventually gives you an answer. You're living probably for a while, especially because everything was broken down and destroyed. Then all the people around the outskirts there are just like, we don't know what happened for a day or two, you know?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Their whole government shifted up because of that too.
And Austin, I love your point there. It's about like, you know, there's pride and humility, right? Like it's like corporate pride and humility, right? And if we keep track of this out in the West, we've got now, you know, dragons become a symbol of greed, and so if you're an a-hole for long enough, you become a dragon and you hoard gold. And you're powerful, which is you know, it makes sense. Like a regional, freaking, you know, who Sheriff of Nottingham type of jerk is gonna hoard, you know, tax everybody and hoard greed, and he's powerful. He'll kill you. you know, so he's still something you can't really control, but he's just an a-hole, you know. And so now the dragons become like a standard for that, and then they become, it just keeps going. Tolkien had a really interesting take where he takes that and plays with it a little bit, but makes him like really smart and makes him talk, and it makes it a true character, which is just a really interesting play. But you keep tracking it further and further, and eventually in the 70s, it's like, let's ride them.
Yeah,
let's ride them. Let's ride them.
Then they become dangerous pets, and then after that, they turn into best friend pets. You know, How to Train Your Dragon, kind of thing.
Yeah,
which you don't have any fear. You know, it's
just shrinking.
Yeah, but you got no fear of those dragons if you're the person for that dragon. You know, you're like, oh yeah, that dragon can destroy us, but it won't. It never will, and you know that to be true.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And then you've got finally now it's super colloquial, and they're just talking, and they're just people. They're just dumb people like you, and so I think that's kind of more of where we are. I think we talked about Game of Thrones a lot because they did a good job of showing that you can't really control them. And we even talked about spoilers for the end of Game of Thrones. A lot of people didn't like that. But one of the things that was really good was I think they knew what they were doing with the themes. Like they were returning them back to like this thing that you can't really control. And it, do you want
They needed more time. They needed another season to shake everything out. But I don't think the ending didn't make sense. I just think they didn't show enough of the story to make it make sense for people that just digest it in a fun way. Because it completely makes sense that these dragons are just barely tied to Daenerys. She's the mother of dragons, but sometimes throughout the whole show, she's like, yeah, they're all flying, man. I don't know what to tell you. This
I don't know where they're at.
I don't know what you want me to say.
I think they killed somebody.
Would you want me to tell them no? She's like, and you're like, yeah.
And she gets corrupted.
Right. And, absolute power corrupts absolutely. But she was, once you have such a powerful thing, it would be like
the answer to every question.
It kind of is. It's like having a nuclear bomb, but not having checks and balances, so that when anybody says, yo, man, we don't agree with you guys, I don't think we want to do this trade, and you go, oh,
you just go,
I guess we'll just have to drop a bomb. And you go, upon second inspection here, Mr. Alexander, you are the great. And it all comes back to the same answer.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know who said it first, but I'm gonna say it second.
And it ends with them flying off. Now it's not under control anymore, and it's back out there. It's off the leash. Which again, thematically, I really respect what is being done there. And it makes it. He didn't allow it to get shrunk to this stupid little force you could just control.
Now, does it get any smaller? So we're already at
That's a good question.
How to Train Your Dragon of it's basically a big a golden retriever. Toothless is the golden retriever.
I love Toothless. By the way, those movies are so freaking good. They're really
They're
good.
so great.
They are
love
good.
them.
They are good.
Can it get smaller?
It can.
Yeah.
And I know how dragons become people. Now they're your neighbor. Like you make it so a dragon can morph into a person, and now you have the same interactions with them. Now they're not even just things you control. They're people that you live with. They're people that you communicate directly with, that you can fully understand and fully interact with. Not just, wow, Toothless and I really bond. We kind of understand each other. We're here. It's a full coffee dialogue.
Yeah. You could make it more commonplace too. You could, you could do some stuff with tech, I think, to where you're not even scared of them, right? You can just, hit them with that dart or that thing, and they just go down, and
you turn them into a power system. You shoot them with the dart. You put them in a cage, and now they're running your city with their energy or something.
Yeah.
Now you're not even afraid of them. Now you're hunting them for who they are.
To what Mark you were saying earlier about being a little off-put by wanting to have creative control yourself over when you're writing a book. You don't want to have dragons, right?
Yeah.
Just in general, or do you both of you hold that true? Or
I don't mind having dragons. I just need to have because I'm a big plotter. I don't pants very much. I don't just let it ride. I'm bad at that. I'm good at doing that talking. I'm bad at doing that when I'm by myself in a dark room. But it's really hard for me to put a Death Star into a story, basically, because I'm like, right, these guys are bad guys, or the dragon's a chaos monster, or it's a big dangerous thing, or I'm riding the dragon, and how come the dragon's not eating me. It's all the stuff we talked about. It goes through my mind, and I don't have a good answer for it. I don't have an answer as to why in my story of swords and shields is this dragon here, and how am I going to beat him? Because I try not to make mindless animals, and even mindless animals have good instincts. And and sneaking up on it, it's really hard for me to say, well, he's a super assassin. I don't know, you know?
I'm unfortunately. Fourth Wing actually does touch on a closer to correct answer.
Ooh, let's hear it. So we haven't seen it. Lauren read it for us. We didn't read it.
So it borrows from a thing of nature of why does an elephant tolerate birds that kind of are on its on its skin and picking different fleas off of it. And so the idea is, yeah, dragons can eat humans and do sometimes, but will allow a human to ride them and bond with them because they are able to pick off like things that the dragon can't do. And it's more of a symbiotic relationship.
Shark and
definitely it's the shark and the minnow, but it leans far more on one side of like, yeah, does the dragon need the human? No, but it's very helpful.
It's helpful.
And makes their life easier. And especially against other humans. And so like while they're flying, like having someone to watch their back against other different magical abilities. So like that seems like the right direction.
I think that's
Why would a dragon allow a human? It's like, well, I want someone to swat the fleas off of me while I'm flying.
You have
some
figure cat in front of you who would traditionally go eat mice in an area or in a field wherever you would be, and so therefore, look, hey, you have cat who brings you and kills the mice, and you feed cat.
Now you could have a fun way with it. You want to make dragons even smaller and go not just their pets, sprint the other direction. Humans figure out what food dragons have. Maybe it's not just humans. Maybe they need something special. Humans monopolize the food source. And so dragons become like my little cat here. My cat is the nicest to me when he hasn't eaten. When he wants food in the morning, he curls up right next to me, is the most affectionate. It's because he's hungry and he can't get the food himself. And he knows I have it. So maybe that's why dragons eventually we can tame the dragon if we control their food.
Yeah, I like where cool. I like where this is going, because it's like once you understand the concept and you understand what the function, it's literary function essentially.
Did just go back to logistics, by the way? Is this just back to logistics?
Yes, it literally just went back to logistics.
I think we're all back to logistics.
Yeah, but logistics can make the story, because now while you were talking, Rich, I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm like, oh man, like the big a-holes are oppressing everyone with dragons now, because they're the ones who control the food, and so there's got to be some kind of an uprising. And what are they going to do? They're going to freaking let these they're going to break into the food stores or whatever. They're going to take the leverage away and create just utter chaos. And now maybe you get the chaos dragon back. But
I mean, it makes me feel like that the story is really like about like environmental like heroism / terrorism, depending on the perspective, which might be fun to write from any perspective, because they're just like, oh no, they're supposed to be free. And you're like, listen, you don't say that when you're in Jurassic Park. And they're like, I say that. Actually, somebody in Jurassic Park, the first one, was all about that. They died. They got eaten real quick.
Definitely get eaten. But and I was against using dragons too. Like I was just like, I'm just not going to do that for creative purposes. But I think the big rule of thumb is like, don't add something just because it's a genre, a component to a genre, if you don't have a reason for it to be in your story, if it's not driving your story.
That's how a device becomes a gimmick. If it's just there to add.
I don't want it to just be in there, because especially if I haven't done my research and I don't know like the function. So like now I even just from what we've talked about over the last few weeks and some of the studies we've been doing, I'm like, I want to go old school. I want to make this thing just like crazy mythical and just like really go that direction to see what happens. But unless you
victory is survival, not beating the dragon.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So
I think almost any device or trope can be done well. Almost any, I say, but there's one or two exceptions out there. But is there any exception for you guys where, hey, no matter how often you see this device used, it's always bad? Just always. It's never worked.
We wanted to talk about tropes, so this is really good. This is getting into the point where we're kind of picking y'all's brains as far as like, what we're gonna.
Can I be selfish and ask for the second surprise because I kind of want the surprise? Is that too early for the surprise?
No, it's not.
No, it's never
okay.
too early.
Good.
All right.
I don't think this surprise is as good as the first one, but I still like it.
We can still throw it in. Y'all ready?
This is absolutely the last part of the 2 a.m. fever dream. Of doing this,
we should also set this. This one needs a little explanation because it's a little bit insane.
It's insane.
The other one was too.
We're saying this one's insane, and the last one was part 2 of old men wanting aliens to get off their lawn, but they won that fight, and now zombies are here, and now we're like, but this one's insane.
We got another trailer, guys.
Okay,
we were
I'm
thinking
ready.
about a concept, and the title of it is Colloquial Dragons.
We talked about Fourth Wing. Sam explained it to me.
Just the one component, because it's everyone's kind of biggest dig on it is like, it just feels like they're dumb 20-something-year-olds, and they're these ancient creatures, and they should be wise or something, know. And they're just the way they think and the way they process the world is like a dumb 20-something-year-old would look at the world. So we just made a trailer for if we were going to potentially write something with that concept. Just play with that. Play with that trope. Play with that concept, and just see if we could make something out of it.
I just want to say, Sam and I we thought it was fun, and we wanted to play with it, but we didn't have time to sit down and even come up with as detailed a thought as we did for the last one. So it's a little soft. It's a little.
Let's see what you think.
Yeah,
I'm so ready.
Well, you got it?
Oh, I got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Boom.
Dragons are real. They walk among us and live 2,000 years. Forever they speak using the slang of whatever decade they turned 100.
Oh, gee gosh, I just thought she was a quirky girl from New York City.
Yo, Pops is straight up tripping, trying to force me into an arranged marriage. That's waxin' a Maori.
She's been dodging her family for 70 years, but when an ordinary guy stumbles through the magical veil, his weekend turns into a blur of Barbara's rival dragon turf wars and the ultimate plot twist.
Tubular dude, nice left hook, human bro. You've got spirit.
Wait, you're the husband?
Not yet, bro. That's a bit embarrassing. I'm more of a fiance, and you are my new best friend. So, best friend, I need you to be best man at our wedding.
Ayo, if he drops the rings, I'm turning him in a stray of barbecue hot wings.
Picky. Oh, geez, how'd I go from getting a beer to planning a dragon wedding? This is not where I parked my car.
An explosive coming-of-age body comedy about love, loyalty, and ancient firebreakers.
That's waxin'.
Colloquial Dragons.
By Writer's Block. Get your copy today. Well, not today, but one day. Maybe.
A 20-minute episode just of gags and whatever. Who was voicing that?
I like the pathetic. I like the most the pathetic one of like, oh jeez.
That's my nerdy Marty McFly.
Nerdy Marty.
Gosh, it's like
I kind of like the idea of a dude having to be his best man or whatever, the dragon's best man or whatever, just surrounded by dragons that might eat him at any second.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Best man or best snack?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. We'll see how the wedding
There's
goes.
something there where you just mess with that trope and maybe there's something there. I don't know.
It's delightful.
That's us trying to shrink it to even smaller. So just make the dragon but I think the fun is if it might eat you. And maybe it just does.
Yeah. It's always got to be the danger has to be there, or else the nerdy guy is like sitting there confidently being like, they said they're not going to eat me and it's fine. And the chicken wings are actually pretty good. He's got to be like, this is never good. I don't want to be here. I don't know how to leave. I don't know how I got here. And they're not going to let me leave. There's 70 dragons here.
Yeah. That could be kind of fun.
Yeah.
So,
what if the dragons thought of humans like we think of animals, like a really cute dog? The reason they don't let humans leave is because they think we're just really cute, as they treat us like a pet. But then, hey, if your pet starts getting a little rowdy, you pull out the water bottle, and
for a dragon to do that, that'd be a little.
If a dragon does it, it's a little bit more deadly.
You're just talking to each other. If they get out of line, you just breathe a little fire on them. They line right back up. If they
Oh my God, that's how it explains male baldness of whether the dragon breathes fire on you or not. And so there's lineages of like you know, your types, and then
us
our
people, we're the
people,
dragon tamers. We're a long lineage.
You people.
That just means that means that we decided to stand up for what we believe in, and we got a little fire on us, and you people just took the snacks that you were given.
Oh my God! A whole world where everybody that's
all of you guys are a bunch of dragons.
The bald ones are
That's
the revolutionaries, and then the people with hair are the more like, hey, the dragons care for us. They are good to us. They feed us. It's okay. And all the bald in the world, all of you are going. These dragons have burnt our ancestors. They have destroyed lineages. Look at us. We can't grow hair because of them.
And I want to rip it off when I say that. Just look what they did. Look what they did.
The plot twist is you take off a wig at the end of it. I was one of them all along.
Can I have an afro wig though? I just wanted.
It's right.
You guys can put that in your spoof dragon episode, whatever that was. That would be.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely could. So, what tropes drive you guys the most crazy with dragons? What's the stuff that you really don't like, and then what are some elements that you're like, I love this. Like this is cool. I would like to see more of this whenever I read a story with dragons in it.
Specifically, the dragon trope.
Yeah. Specifically dragons, not just open it up to all tropes. Kind of specifically related to dragons.
I don't particularly like this is far more in the, I think it's more progression fantasy, but just when there's like a dragon relationship, like, the powerful dragon with some human, either as friend, adversary, whatever relationship they have, that eventually the dragon becomes really small in comparison, and it almost seems like a personality shift of now they're acting. They just kind of seem silly. Like they used to be powerful, and now they're just, the silly little dragon that hangs around the human. I don't know. I don't like that as much.
I mean, if you're gonna have a dragon in the story, like it can't become like this little tertiary character back here, right? It's a freaking dragon.
Yeah, I agree though. I don't like that either. I don't like. It makes me think of video games where, like, in the first video game, the big boss guy that like could shoot lasers from his eyes, and in the second video game you're playing as him and they're like, oh, he can't do that now because reasons, because the game would be too easy. You're like, that's why, because the game would be too easy. And it's the same with the dragon trope you just said. You're like, oh, the dragon's not a massive dragon now because the hero with the sword and him on the same team. I mean, I can't write for that, sorry. So dragon's tiny now. Yeah.
What do you think about speaking dragons in general? Because I mean, I love Tolkien. Obviously, loves Tolkien's. Like that's a really interesting way to do it. Does it make it better? Does it automatically make it worse? Like, what are your thoughts on that? And are there other examples that come to mind?
The boring answer is it depends, or it works or not. Okay. I think it either does or doesn't if it comes across as a gimmick, where if it's the talking dragon is there to create cute scenes and to add an element because it's an otherwise. I feel like you can tell when an author doesn't have something else important or to progress the story. So it's, let me add something that people will love. Let me add a dog. People love dogs. So a good example. Okay.
If they're talking and you could replace them with a human or a different animal and doesn't really change the dialogue and doesn't do anything, then gimmick and probably detracts from the story. But for something like Smaug, like his attitude, everything about him is
his psychology,
ancient and hoarded. Like it, you can't replace Smaug's dialogue with a large cat.
Although it would be very funny. Just
it could be very fun.
Just a big cat, Mr.
Yeah.
Mix.
I am fire. I'm dead.
To be fair, I think most cats feel like they're dragons.
They do feel that. Yeah,
they do feel that.
They feel like it.
Yeah, with a dragon. So if you can replace the dragon with some other animal, it doesn't change much because you're not making the dragon an actual being or character, whatever you want to do. That's where it feels wrong because The movie Good Boy is a good example where the movie Good Boy it's an indie film, very small. You guys probably haven't seen it, but it's
Highly recommend.
Highly recommend. It's a horror movie from the perspective of a dog. And at first that is a gimmick. It's just, hey, there's a dog, there's an animal, and it's a horror movie. But it doesn't become a gimmick because the protagonist being the dog changes the way the story is perceived, the message of the story. It impacts if it was told from any other animal, it wouldn't make sense. It has to be that dog. It has to be that specific dog too. Indy's the character's name. So same thing I would say with a talking dragon or a non-speaking dragon. Of what if you make them talk? Why?
Yeah.
So why do we have talking dragons? Is it just so that we have talking dragons, or what else does it add to the story? Yeah.
It makes me think of a cool way to have people talking to dragons would be for dragons to have varied dialects and languages like we have. And so the concept that somebody can walk up with a friend and say, oh, it's okay, I can speak dragon, and they're not speaking a language the dragon knows, and the dragon goes to the other dragon, hold up, homie, I can speak human, and they start speaking like Tagalog or Chinese to us, and we're like, yeah, we still can't talk to them.
I think I've seen that meme. I think that's a meme that I have seen. Don't worry, I speak human. Start speaking Japanese.
Yeah.
Dang.
we're still not there, guys. Yeah.
I think those are really good points too. I like those rules as far as and it makes just intuitive sense. It's gotta have a purpose, and really, when you're constructing scenes, every scene has to have a purpose, and honestly, it needs to have several different things that it's accomplishing in order to be, or it gets cut. It's got to pull its weight, and so yeah, I like that a lot.
Also, I do think speaking does come at the cost of your chaos.
Yes,
dragon.
absolutely.
So if you want a dragon to just be this force, this massive or the death, destruction, indiscriminate, then it can't talk.
Don't show the monster too early in a horror movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
If it can talk, it can be reasoned with. If it can talk, generally it learned, and there's an intelligence behind it. So you can't just lean like if it's talking and it's just having this maniacal dialogue like I'm going to eat all the. It just normally doesn't work. Smaug works because it's cunning, and part of the story is Bilbo tricking it, and
and they don't need a cosmic. They don't need some kind of cosmic force. I mean, Sauron is closer to that. Like, he's this big crazy thing that's just evil for evil's sake. Like, and that helps the story that he's just bad. Like, I don't need his backstory. Like, I don't need to know, what happened to Sauron to make him a bad guy one day. No, he's freaking Sauron. He's like,
well, he got abused by Morgoth, and he was
yeah. I mean, it's all there. You end up getting a lot of that, but it like works. Like, you don't have to know that for it to work.
No.
And so you lose something the second that you do that. So you need to at least be making a calculating decision, because in my book, the most terrifying thing is that thing that you can't negotiate with. It's space as the big bad. It's the environment as the big bad. If you're looking like a Hail Mary or something like that, it's just, can I survive against this impersonal force?
And that's what Sauron pretty much is. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. You've read like some of the other stuff, so I just didn't know. I was like, oh, does he go in big time into the backstory? There's a lot of stuff there. Yeah.
Yeah, the Silmarillion like really gets on, all talks about like, how everything was made and how everything came about and what's on the other side of the shores and all that stuff. And Sauron was like a wizardy right-handy man, left-handed man of Morgoth, and Morgoth is less interested in. I mean, they're both bad guys, but their method of how to be bad guys is different. And Sauron's just You know
what I see done worse than dragons as an animal typically are wolves or dire wolves or something of the sort. I typically see that abused and just is there more often than not, because it's not even really I guess dire wolf, you kind of get a little fantasy, but still, and they're just. That is just replacing a dog in our world, so it's automatically, I like the animal companion. That's all that animal companion is. It's been a while since I've seen a wolf or something creature really impact a story and change it and go, wow. I love my animal companions. They're great. Always add something fun, something with our main character. But how often do you see a wolf companion? You're just like, oh, and you see them all the time too. How many characters have that wolf archetype? You see it in the Will of the Many. You got it Wheel Time. You got it in Game of Thrones, everywhere. So
you're Mistborn, right? Sort of Mistborn.
Oh. Sort of.
Yeah.
No,
sort of.
You're right though. The dragons, you don't really have too many. They are generally over there, and they're trying to serve a purpose, whether they succeed or fail at it. Yeah. But wolves and to dire wolves there's a bit of a story thing on how the person met the wolf or dire wolf, and then they're always there. And you better watch out. Don't mess with Jon Snow, because his wolf is around. And then that's all that is, And then the best thing they can do from then on is when you're walking away, you could see them walking, and then you see the wolf pad up next to them as they're walking away with the sword on their back. And you're like,
yes. It just adds aura to the main character.
But it is a lot of aura.
I love Game of Thrones, of the series and everything, but not for once am I going to Game of Thrones like, man, the direwolves are like what a plot. What a plot.
We gotta talk about those.
When they met the direwolves, and then it's like next to Jon Snow, like nobody ever talks about. They're just there. It's like, oh, cool.
Yeah, that's true.
Jon Snow is with the direwolves.
I want more cat animal companions. There's plenty of even there's large cat animal, they have a lion, or they have a tiger or animal. I want an actual cat animal companion. So it serves a different role of a wolf, they fight alongside you, and the fairly standard help. Yeah. But I feel like a cat animal companion would be the more stealthy approach of adds the logistics support of, hey,
that's what I was literally about to say that. Yeah.
What's in
We're
that
back
bedroom?
To logistics.
The cat is just is giving you helpful information and intel. Just kind of
Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Or shooting missiles.
Shoots missiles. But can you imagine a more societal fit, a fantasy realm that deals more in a town, a city, and your fantasy cat companion is able to listen in on intel and help you from the shadows type of thing. I think that'd
be really useful.
I kind of thought about that a long time ago too. When I was just a younger kid, I was like, man, I'd really want to be that wolf guy, because I think that the aura is just top tier.
It really is.
But I did think of, because I had a dog and a cat, and I was like, well, a cat would just be the most functional thing. Yeah. Other than having a monkey that everyone would be like, but if you see a monkey, it's Mark's monkey. If you got a cat, people just go like, oh, it's a cat. Who knows what it is. And it could do almost anything, especially if you could talk to it and it understands you. The cats are just...
It could freaking assassinate people in their sleep.
Crazy.
It could.
The only difference is a dog is just the loyal friend, and a cat, it's a constant negotiation.
It's always, I don't want to get.
And even then, it'll act out of spite.
One of those nobles, or let's take Alexander the Great, who thinks they're such a good tactician, they win all these battles. Really, their pets are doing the logistics behind the background, allowing their owner to win all the fights.
And that's the secret.
Alexander the Great is Dr. Doolittle.
Yes, he could talk to the cat. Yeah,
and
that actually makes sense.
He died because he got into a fight with the cat, and the cat went, "You know what, my guy? Poison for you. Yeah, someone else can feed me."
Yeah.
That's how he got killed.
Yeah, it was literally his cat. So I guess the last thing is this. I don't know. It's a little bit of a reveal.
Okay. But is it the third surprise?
This is the third surprise. So last year we wrote a novel together in November.
Yeah, Mr. Perfect Man.
Mr. Perfect Man. It's fun. We're gonna have that out pretty soon. But we're gonna do that. We liked that as a challenge. So just like me and him have to buckle down. We team up. It's usually a 2 POV novel, and then one will take one will take the other, and we just do our best James S.A. Corey impression and just dive in and just try to dominate. So this year we wanted to try something different, and we wanted to take on the challenge of writing something with dragons.
Something dragons.
So we have to incorporate dragons. It has to be done properly, and we were going to pick your brain, and if you're you have to do this. You have to do this. Do not do this.
Rules and benchmarks of what we can and can't do.
Okay.
Most likely we're going to agree. So give us some good stuff.
Good or challenging.
We want to try to dominate. We want it to come together if we can possibly make it actually work.
We're happy for challenging. That's fine.
We're not scared.
But we want it to be interesting to you.
Yeah.
So So if it's challenging, but you're like, I'd never want to read this, but this would be hard. We don't want to do that. But if you said, but if you would just want to tell us what would be hard, I'm okay with that too. I'd be like, yeah, that would be hard.
Yeah,
don't do that to me.
Dragon romance
between
romance
dragons,
between a human and a dragon. But the caveat, I know that
exists.
smut exists.
I was just
normally the dragon turns into a human. No. Dragon is just a dragon. It's all mental.
So it's Shrek, right?
Darn, it is just Shrek.
Yeah,
but Shrek is good. Shrek is good.
Shrek is life. Yeah,
that's Shrek is life. Shrek is life. Shrek is life.
That would be fun.
Did you guys have any base idea for it, or just we want dragons?
We can't come up with the concept of the story until we start the month. So we can't talk about it with each other. I mean, we can and can't stop us from thinking in our own brains.
Yeah,
but we don't even start talking about what anything could be until the month, until day one of the month. Essentially.
Yeah, but we do know we want to try to take on dragons because we've, especially me, I've just said I'm not doing that. Screw that. Everyone's doing that. I'm not doing that. And we want to take on the challenge of actually incorporating that in a story in some way, shape, or form. So I don't think you would have to try to construct something bigger unless that naturally just happened and it was ooh, this could feed into it. It's more about how to incorporate dragons in a way that makes you want to read it.
Things that you like seeing in stories specifically with dragons or just in general, actually. So you can even just say oh, I hate it when characters have misunderstandings and that leads to plot. I hate that. And but if you guys were so you can't do that, we couldn't lean on that at any point. We couldn't just be and so you don't have to rack your brain saying, oh, it has to be a dragon thing. It can be a dragon thing, or it can just be a story outline. We're gonna make a story involving dragons and we'll utilize whatever you got.
I think dragons can sometimes be used as Deus Ex Machinas quite a bit, because if the character can't solve something, the dragon can. Mm-hmm. So I would say avoid that. That would be maybe one rule I would have of don't let the dragon solve the problem, especially if it's something to do, if the character's flaw has something to do with physicality or overcoming some battle or something of the sort. It's hard. It's an easy out to have the dragon solve the problem. But
how can you? Sorry. How can you? Is there? I was thinking. Is there a magic system rule or some system rule that can make it to where the dragon can't, and that's you already know that he can't because you're gonna have to have that.
I got it.
I
got it. So there a lot of the bonding. I haven't read Aragon or other things, but a lot of those stories where the character bonds to their dragon, they're synced and they're communicating and it empowers them. What about a bond with a dragon of the more aware and alive and invigorated the human is, the weaker the dragon is, and vice versa. So they suck from one another. And so the dragon, as the dragon's going, if it can breathe fire and everything, our human character, it's huge headaches, it's faint, can't even move because they're literally feeding the dragon.
So if it powers up, it'll kill the
breathe fire.
protagonist.
The dragons in this world can't breathe fire, can't do dragon things without a human bond. That's why they need the symbiotic relationship. But then it takes energy between the two as a magic system. So if the dragon, the human character needs to solve something or do something on the ground battle, their dragon can't, because if the dragon needs to then feed the human and give them some aura powers that could be cool magic or whatever.
That makes sense, because if they expend too much energy, it's going to kill the protagonist basically. So you can't can't do that. And so now you're bulletproof. You can't have them save you at the end. I like that. Mark's taking some notes there.
That's all I got.
That was good. That was really good.
That's actually a cool whole magic world. Just the concept that bad guys would connect to dragons and use them as cannon fodder.
Ooh.
Or an evil dragon connects to lots of people and then locks them up and then just is unleashing and is the chaos monster.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's maybe the older kingdom of the land used to be ruled by dragons, where dragons would, bind humans to it. Mm-hmm. And at some point, humans figured out a way to basically sever the bond. And again, this brings back the food. humans found a way to control the food of the dragons.
Yeah.
They found a way to sever the bond, meaning dragons don't have an endless food supply. They can't force it on the humans.
Yeah.
That's why they have to keep them alive. They're not allowed. So if they kill the human, they lose their energy. If they try and force a bond on them, human can just cut it. And so it's like, oh, now I guess we have to work.
We have to work together. Yeah, that's good.
And ultimately, humans don't need them. Like, humans can do their own thing.
Yeah.
It's dragons.
But it's always going to be tempting to have that kind of power at your fingertips. So someone's always going to freaking mess around and think they figured out how to control it.
And what can a dragon offer a group of humans? So a dragon is at most powerful when it's bonded to multiple humans voluntarily. What can a dragon do to offer? Maybe that's there's something there of, the evil person is like bonded to one dragon or multiple people. Oh, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
Or if you've got a tyrant could take over a city or something like that and force them to, to connect to the dragon to power, his, so it can do whatever he wants it to do or whatever. Yeah, that's interesting. I like that. And again, I really like the magic system driving the narrative, because it's not just happening for no reason now. Now it's all, the story's intertwined with it. So now there's no waste. I like that a lot.
This bugs me sometimes with these stories. It's always gonna happen, but we're introduced to said dragon. Said dragon's massive, but there's always a bigger dragon. There's always there's always a bigger dragon. Then there's always the biggest epic, biggest dragon that's scarier than the big dragon you thought was big. There's always a bigger one.
So don't freaking do that.
What if there's a world of dragons where they're all the same size?
Roughly the same size? Yeah.
That's a challenging thing to do, but what if they're all like give or take 10 feet difference and they're like 100 feet tall? They're something like that, because the bigger dragons, maybe they need to twitch. I don't know. There could be some world building thing there, but it's a challenging prompt for you guys, because you want to introduce
the big bad dragon is always it's twice as big, and it's like,
what if the big bad dragon's like
about the
slightly
same
smaller?
Slightly smaller.
Yeah.
I kind of like the big bad dragon being the smallest dragon,
but he's just faster. Like, I mean, you can make that logistical. Like, it's logistics.
Isn't that just How to Train Your Dragon, though?
Basically, yeah. He's just so agile, and he's so smart, and he's so bonded that he's actually better despite.
Can you imagine if the big bad dragon is kind of like the golden snitch, and basically when you see it come through, it just barrels through, and so you're flying through the air and you just see a hole appear on one of the dragon just went through them. It's like, it's basically a bullet.
I kind of want to write that. That's awesome. That'd be an awesome
just
scene.
Like, and they're dead.
What? How do you feel about dragons?
Like cat scratching the TV.
Oh no, that's not good. So we've got a golden doodle, and she busts takes. She just comes in, and all she ever wants is just pets. She just wants pets all the time, even if I petted her like so much. She's a chaos monster. How do you feel about dragons with armor, or like with modifications that they could use to I don't know, the humans could use to beef them up?
Thumbs up or down on ocular implants?
Now, it depends the time period here, because you can just like having horses, and people gear up their horses in certain outfits. So it makes sense. However, maybe it's a lot of armor. It's a lot to build. So depending on, maybe the richer societies have some. I'm not for or against it. What are you, Rich? Do you have any strong feelings toward?
Here's the challenge. Maybe this. I don't know if this would be the right move, but treat them either like horses or companions. If they're horses, if it's a dragon rider, the dragons don't talk. They're an animal that has to be tamed the normal way. And so there's the danger that a horse can still kick you in the head and kill you. It's an animal. So you can arm it up, you can put armor on it, and you have to treat it that way. If it's a companion that you talk to, you don't ride it. It's your friends. Like, you don't ride your friends. That's not what you do.
That's not what we do, guys. It's not what we do. Good advice.
Not our thing.
I like that challenge because sometimes there's too many ideas going on, and then from a writer's perspective, you just got too much crap going on, and it's just chaos. So like, yeah.
The
I like
one
that.
time that they get to, maybe they try it of like, okay, well, why can't I ride on your back? And they just slip off. And so it's like, okay, fine, I'll carry you. And the dragon picks him up with his talons. And, you know, the human's just screaming as it's like being held and dragged.
Yeah,
actually,
you
like,
dislocate your shoulders.
I think that's the most hilarious thing, to be like a whole conversational fight about how one guy's like, you're not getting on my back. It's like, how are we gonna get there? We got to go there quick. You're not getting on my back. He goes, well, you're not carrying me. He's like, I guess I'll just wait for you there.
Oh my god! A dragon rider fantasy where they can't go on the backs; they have to be carried by.
They're just holding them here,
has to be
pouting with their arms crossed, flying, just upset.
And dragons have this ego. They have this god's complex of where we are not horses, we're not animals, we are companions. You don't ride your friends.
I am actually thinking of even funnier imagery of basically the human is put into a basket and the dragon picks up a basket, but even better, it's on a string. Have you seen people getting like helivac'd out?
Yeah,
and basically in dangerous situations, they put them on like a little thing, a basket, and then it's just hanging by a rope from the helicopter, which to me seems like one of the most terrifying things that you could ever do, of just hanging by a rope out of a helicopter.
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
So basically basket and rope, and then the dragon's carrying it. And if the dragon is pissed at you, the basket just gets lower and lower as it flies, and you're like, pull up. She rags on the floor. Hits a tree. Like, oh god. Please.
Yes, you seem like you're leaning into like pretty, they're less monsters and they're a lot more like cognizant and smart, and you know, like that seems kind of where this is going a little bit.
The dragons right now, they feel like hyper intelligent cats, giant cats. They hold some spite to you too.
I kind of like that.
I kind of like it too. They're like, you're not getting on my back, but I do expect you to scratch over there. I can't reach there, so hurry up and get that done. We're not going until you do that. Yeah.
I like that. It's funny, like my gut, I would just go straight chaos monster. I'd write freaking Godzilla -1, you know, type of, like, that seems the easiest thing to do.
I mean, right now with the rules, the rules say they're either horses or they're companions. A horse can be a chaos monster.
Yeah.
So I mean, it sounds like
it could be.
If I'm not wrong, some dragons could absolutely be wild things, and others can be like enlightened beings, or maybe they go from wild to enlightened after a long time, or they go from enlightened to wild after a long time.
Yeah, I think Game of Thrones just does such a good job. It's hard not to just immediately just be like, that's better, so I'm not writing this.
If it's a chaos monster, could the goal be to, like, the whole journey and goal is to put it to sleep? If it's starting to stir,
you want to kill it
and wait.
Yeah.
And it's like, there is no killing the dragon. It's the chaos monster. Best you can do is delay it. Put it to sleep. There's ways to, if you feed it extra food, somehow it'll go to sleep a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So maybe that could be the rule. If you want to go the chaos route.
Oh my god.
The dragon cannot die.
Oh my god.
There is no killing the dragon. No. There's delaying, there's surviving.
The answer is there. You don't love writing dragon stories, right?
True.
You don't love it.
True.
This is the way to write a dragon story without writing out the dragon which you dislike. There's one dragon. It's huge, as you're saying, Rich. It's huge. It needs food in order to survive, or like to stay sleeping. You know how Smaug's with all the gold and doesn't want to get awakened. This dragon, it lives in this mountain and gets supplied with all this food that's given from the humans. The only way the dragon will get upset is if the food supply runs out, and the humans logistically have to make sure enough food gets to the massive dragon. So when human warfare, like wars, kill other people, and then there's less food going to the dragon, it's not necessarily that your nation's going to fail and whatnot. It's if there's war going on here, we're not going to have enough food to give the dragon that all of us nations need to make sure is fed. because
it's
then we all
automatic
die.
game over for
There-
everyone.
So it's in the center of the entire world is this dragon that like these 10 different, vying Game of Thrones-esque nations are vying back and forth against one another. But the thing is, it's in the same way of, for Game of Thrones, you know how you don't want to send somebody to the north because it's, send someone to the Watch and they become part of the Horde, essentially. I'm actually talking about, we made a Game of Thrones Risk version where everybody was playing Risk on the Game of Thrones map, and you could send people to the north to prevent the zombie like White Walkers from coming down to King's Landing. The whole thing we were debating between is, do you want your Risk troops on the map to fight other people or to help prevent the AI White Walkers from taking over King's Landing? Because we had like basically an AI was coming down as an 8th player. But that could be the thing in the story where feed the dragon before the dragon runs out of food, because we're fighting each other the whole time and destroys us all. I don't know.
That's actually really interesting. It makes me think of that the story is from the eyes of 2 different characters that rule their kingdoms or something like that, because one might be like, I know historically that when the dragon wakes up, the first thing they do is destroy Southwest. That's not me. So I'm perfectly okay if we wake him up. Conceptually, we can feed them enough that they won't make it around to us.
They'll get full.
We can go
They'll
and
get
conquer.
full
You know
eating
what
my
I mean?
enemies. Yeah.
I mean, it's touches more on the Godzilla direction of Godzilla. It's kind of one-sided of, the one that dropped the bomb.
Mhm.
This is far closer to mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
Of nations are at war, but ultimately they'll both work together of the supply lines that are feeding the dragon. Those are untouched. Those don't come across in war. And maybe there's security center. Maybe people try to exploit.
There's a
it.
terrorist group that always goes for the supply lines.
Yeah.
So there's some underground group that wants to attack them because they have some unknown motivation that's going on in the B plot, which is discovered by the end.
But ultimately, each nation's kind of thinking like, well, maybe we can wake the dragon and it'll eat the enemy first. It won't hurt us. Maybe we can put it back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
As long as so it's mutually assured destruction, and that idea, toying with it, like, will the dragon kill our enemy first before us? But then there's the other side of, okay, we can keep pushing. If I keep pushing at this war, like, yeah, maybe I could win. But if I win, what's to stop the enemy nation from going, okay, fine, we're going to lose. We're going to flip the board. We're going to destroy the ability to feed the dragon. We're going to wake the dragon.
Yeah.
And that's the whole idea of nuclear war of like, you can't push them too far.
Mm.
Yeah. So at this point, this is political intrigue. Like, you got to write the heck out of the politics of this, and that's really what it's about. And oh man, it's the best end is probably just destruction, just utter destruction. And that's like the lesson you leave everyone with is just like, and then and if you go with theme or metaphor, and if you're talking about like nuclear war as like the theme that you're digging into, then that's probably the message that you want to give is like, this isn't ending well, like this is bad.
Not that dragons are kind of cool sometimes. That's not the message you want.
Yeah, that wouldn't be mine.
It worked.
If you take it away from that, if that's what you take away from that, then I'm like, hey, we feel different.
Unless it was satirical, like obviously we were like writing satirical stuff. But what would you be biased towards?
The dragon wakes up, destroys the enemy nation, and then goes right back to sleep. And nothing bad happens. Oh man. The end. After all this political buildup,
wasn't as bad as we thought.
And the whole tone of the whole thing is like really foreboding, it's just like, ugh, and then it's just like, oh, it worked out. Yay. The end.
But the serious version of that feels like that's like about 6 to 7 different perspectives in that book.
Yeah.
Because you got to have a bad ruler, you got to have a good ruler, but maybe not even the ruler. You have to have like a dumb ruler that's being led around by like a smart person that doesn't get to make the calls, and then you need the people on the ground, a terrorist faction.
Yeah.
You need like the Golden Company that is like the Night's Watch, basically, where everybody comes together and they're there to protect the holy lines of food, or
Yeah. That'd be hard to write in a month.
It would be a hard month.
Yeah,
there's a lot of animals. I think like swans and what's the loons, or I'm trying to think of what the lake duck is. I think swans do this. Definitely loons, or I'm trying to get the right name. But there's only one couple per lake when there are small lakes because they take the territory. This happens with other animals, like take wolves in the wild and whatnot. But they control the lake. So if there's any other loons that come into that lake, they'll have a fight, and there will only be one couple, one family per lake. Maybe in this world, there's a bunch of island nations that each have dragons on them and their own human feeders. Like they, the event that sparks one of the books could be a dragon comes over to this island that's already preoccupied. There's a dragon battle. They're not fighting to kill the humans. They're fighting to, be fed by the humans, to control the lake, control the island. So there will be a dragon battle every now and then that causes chaos and blood, whatever. And the dragon goes and sits in their mountain perch, and they're king of that island. That the way they mate, they go to other islands. So bad islands have a male and female dragon and kids, so they have to feed a bunch of them. And they're like, oh my god, no, they had children. Shit. And so they have to feed the kids because they're super hungry. And I don't know. That's the chaos route, though. That's very different than our cat hanging from the talons.
But I love in that one that an island can go from being a beautiful, lovely island that works out, and you're like, yeah, we've got plenty of food and everything's lovely. You see the dragon up there, real nice guy, don't go up there, but nothing bad. And then you're like, oh, you got a dragon wife or a dragon husband. That's a little bit harder, but happy for him. Good times, everybody. Where the dragons at? I don't know. Oh, my grandpa says this is when bad things happen. What do you mean? Oh, there's 3 dragons. There's a baby dragon. Those guys are crazy.
They have one, or did they lay multiple eggs? No.
Oh, my goodness.
No.
Also, baby dragons
now you're screwed.
Try to get in trouble.
I like the concept of using known animal behavior, as far as like territorial behavior, because that exists. I mean, that's all over the animal world, and then using that as a template for how they behave. That seems interesting because it's also outside of your control. It's animal behavior at that point, and it's only that their behavior may
destroy
your entire island. So yeah. So it's a known commodity, but it's dangerous still. I like that.
I hope we've provided you with all the book rules that you would need for this dragon story.
We got a lot. We got
no
a lot
idea
of good
what
ideas.
direction you're going to go, but
yeah, we got a lot of good ideas. So I appreciate that.
This is fun.
Yeah, we're gonna put them together, and we'll send you guys kind of like what we're shooting for.
Yeah,
and we'll try to. We're writing a dragon thing for November,
we're
so
on it.
we're gonna try to do
November is
it.
Dragon Month, and we're gonna send you guys our outline.
Yeah, we'll send you and tell you which direction kind of we're taking it from. But, guys, if you're good, I think we'll call it. I thank you so much for your time, man. It's been an hour and a half, more than that. So,
man, it's been so fun.
Y'all are awesome, man. Yes. Appreciate it, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Dragons.
Yeah, we end just screaming dragons.
Can we
but yeah,
logistics.
We do scream Richard sometimes. Like, where this be started?
Richard.
I don't know why. I don't know where that came from. But all right, guys. Until next time.
Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, appreciate you. All right, bro. Check this out.
Da 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 da.